It's just too hilarious. MAGA is freaking out over a restaurant. If something has even the suggestion of being woke, like in this case, a decision made by a woman, MAGA has a complete meltdown. And they call the left snowflakes. These people are so sensitive, they would melt in Antarctica. Make sure you're subscribed to Really American for more hilarious content like this, and let's just jump right into it. Cracker Barrel has a long cultural history of being the place where conservatives go after purging themselves of sin at church on Sundays. They can come to the old Cracker Barrel and start sinning all over again by harassing their waitresses or whispering slurs to the only brown cashier that they keep on staff for legal reasons. I think Jen Welch said it best in her rant from a couple of weeks ago.
White people that triple Trump should be banned, boycotted from enjoying the best thing that America has to offer, which is multiculturalism. Get your fat asses out of the Mexican restaurant. Get your fat asses over to Cracker Barrel, because nobody wants to see your fucking smug ass, teeny weeny, pink arm, big gut around. Nobody wants to see that shit. No one.
Cracker Barrel was their home, their safe refuge from the evils of woke that have now infiltrated their fortress of solitude. I mean, more like fortress of solid turds. Have you ever been there? It's a glorified IHOP with a country bumpkin filter over it. Except now they don't even have that.
Honestly, the feedback's been overwhelmingly positive that people like what we're doing. I'll give you another soundbite. I actually happened to be in Orlando last week with all of our managers. We bring them together and every other year. And the number one question that I got asked, Michael, was, how can I get a remodel? When can I get a remodel? How do I get on the list?
Oh, really?
So because the feedback and the buzz is so good, not only from our customers, but from our team members. They want to work in a wonderful restaurant. So
I don't know. That "oh really" from Michael didn't really sound like he was convinced. And I hate to agree with MAGA on literally any subject, but they're kind of right here. This rebrand sort of sucks. They somehow managed to gentrify a Cracker Barrel. We sucked the cultural identity right out of it and replaced it with corporate slop.
Saw this on the internet. Dude said he ate in a remodeled Cracker Barrel and he hated it. And I want to join in on the hate. If the Cracker Barrel don't look like the Jim Crow South, I can't eat there. You got to have the racism aesthetic. You got to have the rocking chairs and the hint of segregation in the air. If I don't feel like I'm on the set of Sinners, then how do I know I'm in a Cracker Barrel? This is a gentrified Cracker Barrel. They done took all the character out of it. And I know the edges of the pancake ain't burnt. I got to feel like somebody wants to say, "Good morning, boy," when I go in. With respect and no respect at all. I feel like they want me to work there, but they don't want to pay me ever. And I've got to live there. That's Cracker Barrel's thing. If you take that away, what is it? A Denny's, a IHOP, a place I don't want to be at.
MAGA has their panties tied in a knot so tight that even Donald Trump's tiny little fingers couldn't undo it. This somehow very popular account, Clown World, says Cracker Barrel isn't about biscuits and gravy anymore. It's about pushing woke agendas. And the picture that they attached is Cracker Barrel LGBTQ Alliance, supporting home office and field employees to bring their whole selves to work while strengthening Cracker Barrel's relationship to the LGBTQ community. This is, of course, evidence for Cracker Barrel being woke and therefore tied to the redesign, despite this initiative being launched in 2016, so nearly a decade ago. And it stems from the fact that in the 90s, Cracker Barrel got in trouble for firing gay people. So it seems like this little alliance is to cover their own asses more than anything. But of course, because Cracker Barrel is like the restaurant for conservatives, all of them are melting down. Here's what Matt Walsh said. "Yes, let's remove everything charming and distinct from the logo and make it as generic and boring as we possibly can." Riley Gaines, the person who came in fifth to a trans woman and has made it America's problem ever since, she responded to Matt Walsh saying, "They removed the cracker and the barrel," which is just a hilarious joke to be coming from her. Like, she said it, not me. And look how these freaks are responding with absolutely no sense of irony. First, they come for the cracker and then the barrel, then your history, leave you without any meaning. Then you're open to any indoctrination in a generation. Why? Because true Americana has no meaning. washed away in the fake history books over and over again, like every great civilization. What's so funny to me is that it's called Cracker Barrel because of these crackers, which used to come in a barrel, not because of, the other kind of cracker. They're absolutely losing it here. Here's End Wokeness with a post that has almost 3 million views. Cracker Barrel CEO Julie Masino, so that way you know it's a woman and you know who to blame, should face charges for this crime against humanity. And maybe the second most amazing thing from this is that people are not letting this distract them from the Epstein files. Look at these Cracker Barrel logos that say release the files. Here's another one. Trump is in the Epstein files. It's just so funny. But look at this. They're actually seeing this as like an erasure of white culture. Cracker Barrel is white culture. The gift shop feels white. The logo, the gift shop feels white? How does that work? Stores have races now? The logo, the rocking chairs, fireplaces, the old American antiques on the wall, and of course, the food. Everything about that restaurant reflects white culture, and now they just destroyed it all. The store, the rocking chairs, the food, all of that is still the same. They're mostly whining about some paint on the walls and them taking down some kitschy bullshit you can buy at a home and garden. This one's hilarious. Cracker Barrel didn't just lose its logo, it lost its soul. Under a CEO more obsessed with DEI quotas than country charm. They've scrubbed the logo, remodeled 70 stores into sterile showroom knockoffs, pledged $700 million to erase every trace of what made it feel like home. What are they even talking about? And according to a civil rights complaint, they're openly discriminating against white employees. No, according to that civil rights complaint, they're openly discriminating against black employees and have been for literally decades. But of course, any attempt to make things actually equitable makes white supremacists lose their minds. This isn't modernization, it's extermination of Americana, of warmth, of memory. Congratulations, Cracker Barrel. You're now Woke Barrel. Nobody asked for this. Folks, is it woke to follow market trends and modify your business? Apparently it is, because these people are blaming the left for this. Cracker Barrels will now start disappearing and they'll probably be gone, all of them, within 3 years. The left ruins everything. If one of these MAGA morons stubbed their toe, they would manage to blame the left. Here's somebody with the account Woke War Room. Cracker Barrel's new logo isn't an accident. It's CEO Julie Fells Messino's project. She scrapped a beloved American aesthetic and replaced it with sterile, soulless branding. Messino kept a DEI regime that promises to identify, recruit, and advance hires by race, and now faces civil rights complaints from American First Legal and the Tennessee AG. She should resign and be replaced with leadership that will restore Cracker Barrel's tradition. I mean, they're in full-on meltdown mode over this. Woke war rooms coming up with counter moves. There's MAGA think pieces hitting Substack like crazy, even though half of their base is illiterate. They're treating this like it's the first shot in a new culture war. These people are so delusional, they'll see the damage done to their favorite restaurant by a soulless capitalist who just wants to turn a buck, but then turn around and blame DEI and woke. The CEO, although she's a woman, has been the CEO since 2011. If she was interested in wokeifying Cracker Barrel, I think she would have done so a long time ago. This is mostly just about trying to keep their dying restaurant relevant to Gen Z, who doesn't have the memory of old country folksy restaurants and diners. Either way, anything that makes these MAGA troglodytes freak out like this is a good thing in my eyes. If you guys want to see more hilarious stuff like this mixed in with, actual news, then subscribe to Really American. I'm Tony Hinderman, and I'll catch you next time.